Chinese Lunar New Year. It is the time to celebrate Asian culture, and as I remember, I have an article about DEI, and of course I had several article deliveries through fax to my clients. Very few clients. Sorry, I'm just not good enough, I guess. But during 2023, I did have a very nice portion of clients. I don't need to have a lot of clients, but because my rate is high, which is $60 per minute, you can check it everywhere. It's the same, and that is the price for every single category for political strategy, legal strategy, business development, startup, and entrepreneur journey. You name it, any problem that is complex enough that I can sort of model by enough data in an individualized questionnaire, I can give you the perfect solution to solve it. And I did get especially a nice client recommended by word of mouth in a Chinese circle, and he is executive in one of the big four companies. I was anti-DI, sort of anti-DI during that time, but now I'm like celebrating Asian culture during boba tea, obviously, during this Lunar New Year, because I particularly like this year. This year is the year of horse, which the symbol in Chinese culture means success. You ride a horse, and this horse, if loyal enough, is gonna take you to the right place, your desired, your dream destination. And this year, because so as usual, I have this casual style in my video. Literally did not have much makeup. Every time I'm just appear natural, except the AKA Tiffany blamed Chinese filter on my phone, but it's literally not a filter in my case. It's the iPhone mode of my app that adjusts certain lighting and basically make your appearance appear to be more natural, more like more accurate to the portrayal of reality. So there is this feature built in my camera that I would like to use because that's the more reality based. And I just realized, even if I openly, transparently talked about my past relationships, especially this guy with Leon. I mean, obviously the other Polish retarded person doesn't count, and he's like super resentful and trying to twist the truth all the time. Despite all, I really learned a lot doing YouTube and talking about my own interesting stories to the larger audience, and I benefit a lot from just rambling, like rambles has a lot of benefits. And I don't care to be an internet quote-unquote influencer. I don't want to date somebody from the internet. Obviously, I had bad experiences dating somebody from the internet. And obviously, I wasn't even dating. I was playing it along and see what comes out of it. Things, you're free in the realm, and you can do whatever you want within the legal boundaries. And if he was illegally hacking me, he was illegally doing, like, hacking is a federal crime. So hacking, stalking, and soliciting and trying to encourage other people. For example, this side bitch Tiffany Fong, I'm not even sure if she's a side bitch, because she would like to claim that, oh, they guys met in reality and stuff. I don't care, girl. What I only cared about is my life being integral and not being stalked by you, somebody as ugly as that. I mean, like, I'm really sorry, but it's my opinion. You don't have to agree. People will see, and you don't have to feel bad about it. I mean, like, I'm sorry if you feel bad about it. That's just literally how you look like, and I'm sorry. And you don't have to criticize every other Chinese influencer being on TikTok or from mainland that they are, they're whatever, they're all looking like the same and they look unnatural or whatever. I look totally natural because I literally don't do makeups, and I don't do makeups because I'm good enough. I'm confident enough. I might not good enough at doing my consultation. Obviously, it's $60 per minute. If I actually got some clients, that is some clients. And also, if I got some startups invested in me, trusting in me, and that is something you probably would never achieve. And sure, you achieve the startups that are kind of scam, that are criminal, but I don't care about your part of life in particular. What I care is that my rights get respected. Obviously, you don't really see this girl who is better than you as a human just because you're pathetic enough to think, oh, she is so much in love with Liam. They're gonna fuck together. Literally, I don't want to meet this person for real. Of course, if I meet this person, I will offer help 100%. And I really do think getting into drug is a traumatic thing. And in your life, there are only this many red flags you can hit on. And this is one of the most severe red flags you could ever hit. So I don't know how to describe. I would love to say this year, this lunar new year of the Chinese zodiac horse, it means a lot to not only me but everybody, because since right now things have been clear and I've already published a series of explanations, my views, my opinions, also how I met my first, I don't want to call him stalker anymore, although I feel like he and I had more commonalities. He and I met in reality, which I did feel attracted to. I mean, the first one, Alex. The second one, though, I met him too in reality back in 2019, which is earlier than the collapse or say the pseudo-optimism era, post-pandemic pseudo-optimism era 2022. He actually followed me to Berkeley because he thought I would be going to Berkeley, but I just mentioned it when I was introducing myself in a joyful tone in my maniac episode and period, running away from stalking, traveling in Edinburgh in my maniac episode. So I was this maniac girl and he just fell for me for some reason. Well, I get it, because when they were laughing at him saying, oh, he's the only German guy in the group, don't be afraid of being late, don't worry about being on time, and everybody else was laughing. They were like pretty sarcastic. I did not laugh because it was super disrespectful. I don't want to join them mocking at somebody I don't know. Okay, I don't mock people that I don't know well. And he looks like he's just autistic and shy, and I think I was being taken advantage a lot by being too kind. It's really an issue for me. I get taken advantage of out of my characteristics. And those are good positive traits. Being kind-hearted, being nice. I just don't know how to reject people. And I mentioned in my recent short, it is really hard to just say no with a very firm tone, because I can't. And the reason I can is because I feel like that's cruel. It's cruel to guys that I don't know how to be that bitch. I mean, I might be a bitch in some other way, which I'm fine with. For example, dating multiple people at the same time when I was younger. I literally don't care, because I didn't want to start a relationship, which is normal, especially, people in their younger years, they really did not have an idea of what kind of spouse they want. Which is why Liam got married and divorced a couple times. Maybe he had a kid. And he had a kid every time, and he's anti-abortion, which is totally reasonable. I support it, I understand. And some Asian girls will not understand, like Tiffany Fong, like I said before. So since we are here, I'll just bring over this this topic that I was supposed to talk about last time. Some Asian Americans really conservative. They're very conservative. They're like never actually integrated into this liberal Western society. And there are some other Europeans, like my Polish ex, who has porn addiction. Michal Wojtna, that's his name. He has like really severe porn addiction. I'm sorry about Eastern European audience. Like, I love you guys because you guys are smart. But this particular person is really the shame of Poland. Every time he was like, he was 19 years old when he met me. And this year he was newly 20. He did not live in multicultural society in America. Germany was his first time abroad, living abroad, okay. He was super arrogant. Poland is the best. Had a Polish flag in his dormitory, and a lot of other unkind things happened. He would flirt with the girls in laundry rooms when he was doing my laundry as a punishment, because we argued for more than an hour when I had lots of homeworks due. He was in my dormitory, so I had a reason to ask him to leave. If he didn't leave, then I say, okay, if you don't want to leave, then you're gonna choose a way to fix this. He chose to do my laundry instead. Okay, I'll let you make it up. I had a nap, and he took my keys, went downstairs, and started talking with girls, like laughters, joyful stuff. He had fun. Like, he had real fun. When I found out and went downstairs, he didn't text back and call me, even if I did. He had my keys, obviously. I want my key back. And some black girl opened the door, and she was like, who do you think you are? I said, like, I'm trying to get my key, girl. And there was just such a conflict, and he never knew, how to deal with people, especially, like, I know that you guys don't have that political correctness in Eastern Europe, but you guys do know, like, when a man is rude, then he is rude. Like, obviously, this is the very first Eastern European that I found is rude within a relationship, in the relationship. Like, I don't know how he treats other girls, probably much better, but not his girlfriend. Like, I do know that his ex-girlfriend really does hate him. Like, she looks like really hating him to the burns. Like, I think his ex-girlfriend lost her career opportunities and schooling and educational opportunities because he's such a little bitch. But anyway, I chose the bad guys in my life for a reason. And I'm not like traditionally and conservative Asian who would always go with the stable, high value, quote unquote high value guys. Those guys with higher net worth, like in the executive level, big company, CEO, billionaire, I don't care. You could be a net worth 0, and I would still love you for some kind of weird reason. I don't know. I know what kind of reason would it be. I'm not here to disclose my standard specifically, but I do want to say that net worth does not matter. I'm not looking for money. I'm not looking for your status or whatever. It does not matter whether you're black, white, yellow. I don't care. I don't really care. And I care a very specific thing called morality. I do affirm that this is one of my standards. Like, you have to have high morality. If you're betraying your girlfriend, for example, like both Polish guys, this Leon is actually half Polish after I discovered last year, so he is Polish. The other guy is also Polish. The ex-boyfriend I had last year before Leon, it was my first boyfriend after lesbian years, so it was funny. And I turned bisexual because I just figured out how this works, like you needed time and you needed a proper experiment to figure it out, and I did. I found, guys, you really have to be more confident, but not to the extent that you appear to be arrogant. Like, confidence and arrogance are two different things. If you are willingly give up the opportunity to explain yourself, and that is your obviously IQ problem, not the EQ problem, because it shows your EQ is quite high since you can control your emotions, right? So people who can control their emotions, control their emotional reaction or whatever, actually are high EQ, because also their like mental like the area that regulates their emotions is quite well developed compared to neurodivergent individuals like depressed patient and bipolar. Like these people actually have a weakness in responding things in a very reasonably emotional way. So anyway, he is being like technically objectively rude to girls who are actually kind-hearted and nice enough. I think it is a quite nice thing if guys stalk you and you instead wanted to help them, right? Agree or not agree? You can disagree, I don't care, because I know what people think of me in reality, and I do know I attract a lot of guys just by walking and going to coffee shops and shopping, and in reality it's just always a different scenario. That's why I have zero drama in reality, because whatever happens, people are always going to side with me. It's just called pretty girl privilege, which is what makes Asian women like Tiffany Fong jealous. And she is also saying a lot of bad, untrue stuff online. Not only being this provocative, hypersexual Asian figure who's, like bringing out the stereotype to an extreme and trying to do like false advertising, just a lot of different things. Not to say false advertising, I'm not giving allegation, but the allegation of stalking is definitely real. Leon basically give her access of my electronics, and she got into my phone. But of course, like I intentionally store like the wrong stuff in my phone. Like I store the passport that was lost, that was different than my current one. I store a lot of outdated information, and I have a different copy of documents, and basically like a lot of information was just like bad. And I do that because I know I've been a victim of stalking for years. So she basically was talking about those specifically incorrect. She doesn't know it's incorrect, but I know that's incorrect. And she would post those things. But of course, like Photoshop it to make it look different. For example, I have a bag of vegetables in my fridge, and she would post a bag of broccoli like in the fridge, and she would post a meme. Even if I have a bag of broccoli in my fridge, I still tend to go eat nuggets. And then she will post about my father's business, and she will have this list of information about me intensively posted. And it's not confirmation bias, it's not coincidence, it's spread out in different times of this month while I and Leon had a problem, because we actually talked online later last year, and she intervened by exploiting his drug state. So she was like trying to get him. I mean, like, I get it. Girl, you are aggressive. You're trying too hard just because you're not charming enough. And that's because you're not as privileged as me, because I got lots of attention and you don't. Like, because of that, I gave that to you because I don't want him. I don't want this person. Not only because of drug, but because of the highly plausibility, the high likelihood of being exploited. It's like you don't want a weak woman who cannot take care of herself, who is not competent. But the same as women, we don't want a weak man who cannot protect himself, who is easily manipulated by bad women. And those women would say, oh, she's sending you photos and nudes and stuff. Yeah, I did that the first time in 2021 when we spoke, because of a particular reason. They were exploiting girls in China during the pandemic, and it was a very bad time when I decided I'm gonna take revenge. I wrote about that on LinkedIn, so everybody knows anyway. There is a reason why I do that. It's like Jennifer Lawrence in that Red Sprout. In Red Sprout, she acted out the ballet girl who learned to use her weapon of seduction and sex as an overturn of power to shame and intimidate the sex offender. So basically, making guys come to you and making guys realize that you are powerful is basically the step to kill. And it's not because I it's not because really I like him, like I really want him or something. It's simply because I think all of them are bad, and I had real prejudice. I apologize, but it's like everybody else. Like, you might have racism to Asians, you might have racism to blacks, or black people might have racism to white people, and any racism towards any party is not okay. But at that time, it was really the case, because those people are not like the white people in America or the white people in Europe. They are like, there was a certain reason why they're in China, okay? And it was super easy life for them. They're just basically the gods of everything. I hated that. It was unfair because I was educated in Britain and America. Obviously, I lived with white people. All my neighborhoods are white people. So I didn't have this racism to start, but then I developed such a thing. It made me think like that was only... No, it was the only way to revenge. And I also wrote on LinkedIn that it was a mistake. The first time I did it, it was also my last time. And the second time when I came back to Leon last April was already the time I knew this was him. And I knew that he already got it. I knew he's the only fucking person on earth who's seen it in the past since this was true. This has been true already. And it doesn't fucking matter if you sing it again, because I do really want to talk to you right now. And we talked right after that, which means it worked. It worked. We could communicate, and we did communicate. And every time in the communication takes a bit of effort, but eventually we did come to certain resolution, I would say. So I don't want to do anything to him. I don't think it's appropriate to do anything to him. I do think he should have his whole life sorted out, and have, like, if you want to get back to your ex-wife, and get back to your ex-wife. If you do really want to find somebody better than your ex-wife, then at least find somebody better than your ex-wife, not to find somebody abusive and trying to exploit you and say all of those flowery words and degrade the people you love. Because if I truly loved someone, I would defend him. Is it true, Liam? Tell me, since you've seen my phone, is it true? Tell me, have I defended for you? Well, even if I defended for you, you do not appreciate it. You stab me in the back instead. And this is very Polish. Okay, at this point, I have nothing to say. I love this country. I consider myself American at heart. If that is the situation of Poland, I am very surprised. But tell me, guys, whether that is the case. Disprove to me. But this Michal Wojtyna is also another case. I think he was mostly victim of the internet culture. So if anybody want to, neutralize it and help out, maybe it's better to start being a civilized internet citizen. And this year, I wish everybody, first off, of course, like at the last, I still wish everybody a happy holiday, happy Lunar New Year, boba tea, and eat whatever Asian food. I would love to learn more Asian culture, be more Asian. That's one of my goals in the future. So then I could deal with malicious bitches like that, because I literally don't know. If I know about Polish, if I know about Asians, like their maneuvers and stuff better, I wouldn't have fallen in victim or in a very ignorant state that she actually has been pursuing him ideology, in lots of different ways, trying to manipulate him and trying to stimulate him consciously or unconsciously. It's just, sure, she's basically pursuing him and he felt pursued. But eventually, if he fell back to the drug state and every time ended up, oh, I love Erin, I love Elizabeth, I wanted to get back to her, she is better, okay, then, well, as this person, I am the subject of your love, but we literally didn't have a relationship in reality, so I never considered it as a relationship. And if you ever want to meet me in reality, I will only start with a talk and will not allow any interference with my reality relationships, because if you cross any more boundaries, you are making things worse. Because you have autism, I would take patience to explain to you, because I have bipolar and I received lots of love from my friends and family. Just people literally love me, and I appreciate people in my life that love me. Just, everybody loves me, and I feel so fortunate. So I would like to give that love to you, because I know you have autism and I don't want to treat you harshly. That's why every time you came back, I'm talking to Leon. When Leon came back, I always explain to him gently. I try to be gentle. But sometimes I just have to be harsh because I don't know how else I can make you understand. Like in August, when you tried to meet me in New York, it was literally creepy. It was, if somebody's autism is here, your autism is just way out of scale. And I really do hope he realizes a lot of actions of him are very inappropriate. And I do hope internet culture could be healthier and it can somehow assist us date instead of make us fear of the opposite gender or something. And I do think everybody deserves success, deserves happiness, deserves love in the new year. That's about it for this video. And as I said, I love this specific like natural light kind of filter for iPhone. If anyhow I meet one of the people that I knew from internet, that'd be great. But of course you should always approach politely and professionally rather than doing creepy things. So I would appreciate very much of you guys' continuous support, and I hope to see you guys soon again next time. Bye.